Hello and welcome to today's session. Thank you so much for joining. Christopher, thanks for coming back. Just had a slight delay in starting, apologies about that. Got the close gap down below where we're opening. Slight triple bending, but it's not great. Look, it'd be great if we can come down and hit this previous day's close and maybe look for buys. So what I'm going to do today, because yesterday I guess I got a bit excited and it wasn't the right day for it and sort of wrecked that account straight away basically. So we had a really good day and then followed by quite a bad day. I did call it, I guess. I said, look, the market has that feel where it just blindly goes up regardless of all of these things pointing down. All the analysis pointed to the direction that this market should go and fill this close gap or the extreme gap even. That didn't happen, and basically the market just rallied. So I pretty much traded it very poorly yesterday, and I guess that's just part of the learning process, I guess. As for today, looking to target that close gap, but ideally what I'll be actually chasing is a nice pull down, and then I'll start to look for buy opportunities. So I've got my other brokerage account here. So I've just got so a bit of money in there to have a play with. And when I hit the button on my other account, you'll be able to see what goes on. So at least you can stay in the loop with what I'm actually doing without me having to say where I'm getting in, where I'm getting out. You'll just see it pop up. So you won't have to look at this Tradovate section just for the moment till I get another futures trading account with Apex. So yeah, big 70 contract in the pre-market. We've got 1 minute till open. Hoping we have a really big push down, take us down to the close, give us a nice solid entry to get in long. Obviously when we're buying, the market does have that potential to continue going down as well, just like it did yesterday. It did the inverse of that. When we're buying, we still have to watch out for that downward spiral. So just hang in there and see what the market brings us. And we'll see how we go. Christopher, how was your trading yesterday? Did you, I think you went long, didn't you? 15 seconds till open. We're nearly there, so hopefully we get a nice solid push down and we can get a good solid buy into the market. So I've got my platform open. I'm just using a CFD broker for this one. I've got my analysis all laid out and we're open. Look, we're having a bit of a pullback the other way, and now we're going towards that close gap. So we want to really, if we can really hit it home and get to that close gap or even the pivot, we'd be sitting quite nice. Yeah, I'm a bit the same. I get out too early and then I don't ride the winners. I mean, for one contract, you can see it on the live stream. I think if I get in, I've just pulled that out. So I'm trading on another screen, but I'm in just for one contract. I might get in for another. So that's a long. So basically fading this gap and see if we get that bullish activity that we've seen. We could probably come right down to the breakout short and S1 as well. So just keep that in mind. You've got to leave some serious room when it comes to trading, particularly the DAX, because it does move a lot. Highly volatile instrument when you start getting some good movements. Look, up a little bit of money there. So I guess, I'll be looking if it does pull right back. I might put another entry in at the pivot, and then again down here at the breakout short and S1. As far as equity and free margin, actually I'm probably out of free margin. So earlier last week I took out, I think it was a couple of grand, so about 2k. That was pretty good. So now I'm back down to the one lot per trade, I guess. So I'm going to ride this one out from where I got in. But that's okay. We'll just hang in there. Hopefully it does actually react. If this was yesterday's trading, we went short and we were targeting the gap, and it just ignored it completely, really, I think. So anyway, we're seeing a reaction today, which is nice. Oh, that's great, Christopher. Good trading. Because so very long to the backside. So yeah, so you got in long after it had already had that massive move, but it just had that feel that it was going to continue regardless, to me anyway, and that's why I kind of tried to reverse it, but I was already too heavy on that account. So, and then of course at the exact moment I hit reverse, the market came down, just enough to wipe me out, and then started moving up again. So pretty frustrating, but that's often what the market does. So we've connected with that close gap there. Hi, thanks for joining. Great to see you. Connected with that close gap. We've got a big order there, I would say, 52 contracts. Could be an aggressive sell, but more likely a buy limit. Somebody fading the gap on the full contracts there. We'll see if that does turn the market around, but we've had a bit of overshooting there. It's to be expected. Another 31, so that looks more like it was probably a aggressive sell. So there's some aggressive sellers coming in now. That could have been a buy limit, but because of where the position was, it looked like aggressive sellers on these 22 and 23 because the market came down, but we're moving up, so it's now respecting that level, so that's good. Now what we've got to watch for is basically we want to see a lot of red side or ask side activity to push us right up and get us that momentum higher. So what am I sitting at? Oh, that's gone away. So I'm sitting at about $20 loss thereabouts. Just about to get to break even here, so I'm probably just going to put my stops to break even at some point. Maybe even, what should I do? Because I've only got, it's about 650 in the account. So yeah, just hopefully it will go up. I'm not as confident that we'll have a super bullish day today because we're not outside of this whole structure, so we don't have to actually break through it to keep going down. But I think if we got all the way down to this breakout and S1, it'd be a really good spot to start considering getting in a bit heavier. Unfortunately, I've only got enough margin. So you can see the free margin, the margin. So the 430 is the amount of money that it takes to hold this position to keep it active. And then obviously you've got to factor in your drawdown, so any losses that you have on top of that margin. And then you've got free margin, which is basically that fixed number, the difference between that number and your equity. So obviously your equity changes with the profit and loss. So you can see that with one full contract on this account, it's $430 on one full lot, and I've only got another $200 in the account, so I can't actually place another full lot trade. I might be able to place like a 0.4 or something like that, but it's probably not really worth it. And then you start squeezing the free margin against the potential drawdown that you need to take. So let's say the market pulls right back, you're in quite heavy, you might get liquidated, and then the market will just come back up the other way potentially. So you'd get liquidated even though you're confident on your trade, you just don't have the power to be able to hold it. So what's going on? We've got to look. This looks like buy limit orders here, I would say. I'm hoping. What do we got here? Big 40 contract there, up a little bit higher. So we'll see if that is like more buy limits to try and push the market up. 29 aggressive buying, I'm hoping. But the market's kind of teetering. It's trying to figure out who's in control. It's not getting that good solid rally that we usually try and see off a level. I guess it's me just not being patient enough. Let us know in the chat, guys, what are you guys trading? Like, are you going long? Are you going short? What's your view on the market today? It's always good to, I guess, get other people's feedback and insight, because often if you get too biased in one direction, you can kind of forget that there's another side to the whole trade. Yeah, so when that margin's too tight, you just lose all control. You just can't navigate further. You kind of restrict yourself so much. So obviously trying to not get in too heavy, but I forgot that I did make a withdrawal from that account. So I think I was trading about 3 or 4 contracts, but now it's with that withdrawal, I can only handle about 1 lot. But that's okay. I like to kind of keep a small account because I know that I do the wrong thing sometimes. And if I keep a small account, what I can do is just play with it, grow it quite quickly potentially, and then I can make withdrawals that are equal to the balance. Whereas if I try and, I guess, do the right thing, like the 1% risk, that kind of take on it, what happens is I end up doing really well for a good period of time, but then what happens is, at some point I get overconfident, and then it just doesn't work out. I don't stick to the rules the whole time, and then eventually I do the wrong thing. And because I've been trading so light, doing the right thing, get it all good, make the profits, and then make a mistake, do the wrong thing, go in too heavy, that kind of thing when I shouldn't, or trade when I've had a long day and I'm not focused enough, and that's when you can wipe out your account even though you've been doing really well. So I do like to keep it quite small at the moment anyway, and just keep it really tiny accounts, go pretty hard on it, use up most of the free margin that's available, and then take the profits out when I can. Because I find that otherwise I make mistakes. It's just something that I do. So it's something that I obviously want to work on and develop, but at present it's just not in line with my mentality. So ZZR Geo, just watching still. That's cool. It's sort of, it could go down a lot further, so could be a good play, and just wait for the right entry point. CM funds, I'm trading a variation of the ORB strategy. As for strategies and that kind of thing, I don't really know a lot of the, I think it's like ICT, the ORB. There's a lot of different strategies that are out there, and different techniques. I don't particularly know or understand them all. What I'm often doing is just trying to read the market based on price action, pivot points, order flow, because I found that, so with algorithmic trading, when I algo trade and I run big tests and all of that, there's very few systems as for a static kind of strategy that seem to work long term. So it's really quite challenging to get a strategy, like a fixed strategy, that doesn't take a lot of decision making into account. So this is why I don't actually algo trade the DAX, because it's very unique in the way I look at it. It's not something that I could code. Success rate, look, it varies, depending on what account. Sometimes I'll have a really good period, sometimes I won't. As for the prop firms, not a great success rate. I have passed the FTMO a number of times. I think the Apex Tradovate funding I've passed maybe a couple of times. It's a lot more challenging because of that trailing drawdown. So sometimes you go and have a loss, and and I find it very challenging to actually get past the apex. Whereas the FTMO, I have passed, I think, 4 or 5 of those, and then got payouts from the FTMO. So as for sticking to a regular account, I'm always trying. I'm a bit of a researcher in essence. Like, I'm always trying different algorithms, testing things, testing new tools, testing new strategies. So look, for the DAX itself, probably somewhere between probably like a 60 to 80% win rate. But then often that was me like moving my stops in really quick. So that affects it too. So if I move my stops in really fast, like for example, now I could have probably done that. I'll just check. So I could have moved my stops in as soon as it was a break even. If it gets away, then great. But often it would get stopped out. So that really affects the win rate on a statistical like software level. So often I don't get a proper reading because I don't like to just sit there and let it ride if the market's turned. Success rate's a bit of a challenging one because it's always changing. Like for a period, I know that historically, like when I've traded and really focused, I think my target is generally around 1.5% on average per month, quite consistently. So I can do that. I just find it's really boring. I am currently long, so basically took a long off that close gap. So this is the trade here. I'm just trading on a different screen, so I've just pulled this across. Got in probably a little bit early, so I'm just slightly out of the money, but I am hoping this will go in line with the DAX bias, which is predominantly long. What I am concerned about though, we can see on the order flow, 31 contracts up high. So when you've got an ask order and it's up high, there's a good chance it was a sell limit order. So that sell limit is going to probably push the market, well, it has pushed the market back down. And then we need the buyers, I guess, buy limits, and then aggressive buyers on the ask side, so down lower, to actually push that market up through this level. So we're outside the Bollinger Band here. Look, I do think this market will probably come down a bit further, like maybe even down to the breakout short and the S1. So it'll come right down, and then could be an even better opportunity to get long. But on the daily, actually, we're quite high in historic terms. On the weekly, we're up in around the wick level. And then on the monthly, we're also up super high as well. But the amount of times I've looked at the DAX and said, right, this should go down, like yesterday, the analysis says it should go down, and it just doesn't work. So I've turned into a person that tries to only buy the DAX, regardless of the analysis. I didn't do that yesterday and paid the price with that Apex account. I got, I guess, a bit overconfident, trusted in the analysis. This looks like buying here. So see how it's all ask side orders at the bottom of the candle? That's buying. But when you get up to the top of the candle on the ask side, and it's kind of thin volume and then a really big order, that indicates to me that it's more likely a seller. So you got buyers and sellers on the ask side, you got buyers and sellers on the bid side, and it's about trying to decipher who's doing what at what price. So that's where you start to try and figure out, I guess, what the market is actually looking like. Look, I'm not overly confident. I'm just going to get out of a couple of dollars profit. Just not overly confident this is going to head up. And in saying that, often the analysis that I say, it does exactly what I say, but I don't trade it. So there's every chance that we'll continue going long. Look, really hovering around this. I think this is where I come unstuck, is lack of patience. I don't like to sit and wait. I like when the market at the open is very volatile. So there was a period there for probably about a year where I just only watched the exact first opening 2 minutes. So yeah, the opening 2 minutes, whereas now it's starting to get a little bit long in the tooth for me, and it's a little bit challenging to sit there and wait. So I think it's a patience thing that I've got to work on, but the analysis is often fairly on point. So I do appreciate you guys all coming to watch. Obviously, if you enjoy the session and you get something out of it, at least learn like a tiny little thing. I do appreciate the likes if you feel they're deserved, and enjoy the content. So I'll keep coming back every day, just letting you know what I think the market should do and what the market, I guess, has done previously and yesterday. I'll trade live when I see a setup. At the moment, it's just such, like, the volatility, we're up super high. We're just in a funny location. When you look at the monthly, I'll just zoom in on that. The last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and even this month as well, the last 5 months, we've basically moved nowhere, open and close. So it's been a very strange market basically all year. How can you access the DAX future chart? Let me just check. I think I've got a link to the explainer. So this is for Tradovate. Just see if I can pull it up. Just bear with me. Just change that chart back to a 5 minute. Get the Eurex. Here we go. Open the settings. All right, so here's the link. I'll just there's the link there to access the DAX futures on Tradovate at least. So this is to get level 2 data with Apex. So you can actually trade the DAX with your Apex if you upgrade to have the Eurex data. It gives you that level 2 data. It gives you the ability to set up the order flow as well. So that link should take you through the process of setting that up. Hopefully it makes it a little easier for you to get in there and do it. As for other platforms, I'm not too sure how you'd go about getting that access. So it looks like the market is building to something here. Look, I think I'm hoping eventually that there's enough order flow there to take us long and break past these lows. But at the same time, you've got to watch those pivots, because there's every chance it will go perhaps down to the S1 or the breakout short at some point. And yeah, I'll be watching at that point to see if there's any value there. That's probably it for me today, guys. Look, it's a bit of a slow day again. We've had sort of 4 or 5 candles of just not too much movement at all. It's very hard to trade when the market's not giving us much. So really appreciate you guys all coming along and getting involved in the chat. Great to see you all here. Looks like we're about to go up. If we can push past these highs, it'd be great. I'm out, of course, but yeah, we'll see. Anyway, best of luck with your trading. Best of luck, and yeah, we'll see you tomorrow.